Hi, this is Walt Mossberg, personal technology columnist for the Wall Street Journal. And we've now gone through 3 days of full-scale publicity and hype about the new iPhone 3G, its greater speed, its GPS chip, some of its other advantages, as well as some of the snags, and they were in some cases significant, that Apple ran into in launching it. The company just announced, however, that despite those snags, it managed to sell 1 million of the new phones over the weekend. And there's an even more important development, I think, around the iPhone that makes it even more evident than it was before that the phone is truly a handheld computer. And just like the computer on your desk, it's capable of running a whole bunch of different kinds of third-party programs. With the new 3G iPhone and with a software upgrade that applies to the older iPhones, Apple has introduced something called the App Store, which is a distribution mechanism for the downloading of third-party programs, games, business applications, communications applications, productivity programs, and other things. And Apple announced that 10 million of these applications have been downloaded just in the first weekend in which this App Store was available, which is kind of incredible. Some of these are free, but a lot of them cost $5, $10, and the response in the first few days has clearly been pretty enormous. Now, there are about 800 of these programs so far, and developers have lined up to do even more. But this morning, I decided to suggest that people check out about 10 of them. There are probably 10 more that some of you might have put on the list, and they're equally valid, and I invite you to come to our website at allthingsd.com and add your comments to my post and propose and suggest other ones. But these 10, I think, give you a good flavor of what can be done on the new iPhone platform. And so let me just run through them quickly. The first one that I thought worthy of note was AIM, AOL Instant Messenger. This is obviously a widely used instant messaging program on PCs, on Macs, on a variety of other cell phones. It's been on a number of other phones for years. The iPhone version is very nicely done, and the iPhone did not have an instant messaging program on it, so AIM is worth looking at. A second one is something I've never seen before. It's called Motion X Poker, and it's a poker game that you play with dice. Now, there's 1 million poker and other card games available on cell phones, so what's the big deal about this one? Well, the big deal is, first of all, it uses the iPhone's extremely rich graphics engine, which is taken right from the Macintosh operating system, and renders these dice with which you play poker in gorgeous 3D. But more interesting, it uses the iPhone's motion sensors, called accelerometers, so that you actually roll the dice. You don't hit a button and the dice roll. You shake the phone and the dice roll, and they sound like dice rolling, and it becomes kind of mesmerizing. But more importantly, it shows you where things are headed on this platform. Then there's TruePhone. TruePhone is a voice over IP application, that is, the ability to make phone calls over the internet. It has been on some Nokia phones. Now it's on the iPhone, and it works over the iPhone's Wi-Fi, and it's, to my knowledge, the first voice over IP program available on this platform. In my tests, it sometimes worked and it sometimes didn't, but again, this is going to be a big deal, this kind of program on the iPhone. Then there's a thing called File Magnet. One of the things about the iPhone, as cool as it is that it hasn't had a user-accessible file system. There hasn't been a way for you to copy a file from your computer, save it on the phone, and call it up later. The iPhone can view many kinds of files, but it couldn't store them. File Magnet solves that. It has a little app that goes on your PC and another one on the iPhone, and over Wi-Fi it moves a file to your iPhone where you can access it at any time. The only drawback with File Magnet is that it only works on the Macintosh right now, but I imagine something like it will be on Windows soon. There's Speech Cloud Voice Dialer, which allows you to dial a phone number by just saying the name of one of your contacts. There's an app called Movies that lets you see what movies are playing in your area, buy tickets, and most interestingly, watch the trailer on the iPhone. There's an app that Apple made called Remote, which actually lets you use the iPhone as a remote control to control the music and videos on iTunes, on a computer, or on Apple TV if you own one of those devices connected to your TV. There's a program called Where, which is one of many location-based programs that have come out for the iPhone. Shows you the nearest Starbucks, gas stations, where your buddies are, and on a map of your local area, and it uses the GPS function in the iPhone. And then there are two others. One is Pandora, which is the music streaming program service that's very popular on PCs and now has an iPhone counterpart. And last is an app from Major League Baseball that lets you see updates of games in progress, which is no big deal. But the big deal on this one is you can actually see video clips from the games before the games are over and see them right on your iPhone. So those are a sampling of 10 programs you might want to check out on the new iPhone 3G or on your older iPhone if you have updated to the new software. This is Walt Mossberg, and I'll see you later in the week.